I can't draw. That's the biggest thing that people say. But if you can write your name, if you can speak English or any other language, you are able to draw. And here's why. Drawing is really like language, English. How do we make sense when we communicate? We exchange meanings. Meanings delivered in statements, statements made out of words, and words made out of alphabets. In visuals, you have the same things. Alphabets don't really make sense. A, B, C, D, E. They are sounds, they're symbols on a paper, they don't make sense. And we have the same thing in terms of drawing. You put your pen on the paper, you have a dot. You put a pen on the paper and then you drag it across, you have a line. And if you can draw a line, you can draw a bend. And if you can draw straight lines, you can draw curves. And if you can draw a curve, you can draw unintelligible squiggly lines that don't make sense. These are the alphabets. But when you put the alphabets together, you get words. Words mean something. As an example, if you draw a straight line with a few bends, you get a rectangle. You draw another one. And then you draw a line underneath. You have a bar graph. And you can use this to compare the difference between two things. What about curves? You start with a curve. You end where you start. You have a circle, and this could be a ball, right? Here's a very ugly looking tennis ball because I'm using my mouse pad. Or you can draw two circles together, and then you have a Venn diagram, and you can talk about what are things that are common, what are things that are different. And of course, you can also draw a smiley face. And finally, if you can draw a smiley face, you can draw stick figures. Put these various things together, you actually get statements. Statements like this, the graph that you've seen before, it explains something. Another example, even simpler, you don't even need colors. You literally just have a straight line and a curved line and a few labels. And to explain these 2 points, and this is a point that I recently heard from my coach. We often overestimate what we can do in one day, but we underestimate what we can do in 10 years. It's a really short statement. It's something that you can understand easily. But if you complement that with a few lines and labels, it becomes a much more interesting and easier visual experience. With enough practice, and if you apply metaphors, then you will have something that comes close to poetry. Not to say that I'm a poet, but I really enjoy this. Some of my clients have also asked me to draw this for them, change it up for them a little bit, and apply it to their context. These kind of illustrations come from applying metaphorical questions when you look at things in your daily life. We will talk about that in the later part of this session.